They shot my bull. Right there in the middle of my field, a heritage animal worth more than their entire SUV fleet combined bleeding out while some HOA queen stood nearby in heels, smiling like she'd just bagged a trophy. My name's Lucas Granger, and I run a ranch in the northern edge of Wyoming land that's been in my family since 1874. We raise Highland bulls, not just for show, but because they're living proof of my grandfather's legacy. Massive, russet-coated, curved-horn beasts, federally protected due to their dwindling numbers. Only 40 left in the state, Ushto. And 3 of them lived under my care, well until that morning. Let me back up a sec. It was a quiet Tuesday. Sun just cresting the hills, dew still fresh on the pasture. My border collie, Duke, started barking like the world was ending. I grabbed my boots, stepped outside and heard the shot. Then a second, I ran, heart pounding. And there they were, 3 men in camo, rifles in hand, marching through my herd like they owned the place. And standing beside them was her, Miranda Klein, the self-declared HOA president of the Ridgewood Estates development that popped up 2 miles from my south fence about 6 months ago. Wears white suits in muddy fields, drinks wine at 10 a.m., and looks at people like they're bugs she hasn't chosen to squash yet. I yelled. "What the hell do you think you're doing on my land?" One of the men waved like I was a neighbor out for a Sunday stroll. But Miranda, she just held up a manila folder like it was a badge. "Mr. Granger," she said, all calm and condescending. "These animals have been flagged as diseased by the State Agriculture Board. I have legal authority to intervene." She handed me the papers, thick with stamps and signatures that looked real enough to fool a judge hell, maybe even me. If I hadn't been reading agricultural law for the last decade after Dad passed. But here's the kicker. I knew my herd was clean. They'd been inspected 3 months ago, passed with flying colors. This was no health concern. This was a hostile takeover. I called Miguel, best livestock vet in 3 counties. He showed up within the hour, did a field exam right there beside the bleeding bull, while the hunters just stood around like they were waiting for dinner. Miguel knelt, checked the bull's eyes, skin, vitals, then looked up at me and said, "No signs of disease. Coat's healthy, eyes are clear. This animal was healthy before it was shot." And just like that, Miranda's smug expression slipped. For a second, I saw panic, or maybe guilt, flash across her face before she put the mask back on. That's when I knew. This wasn't some overzealous HOA lady with a clipboard. This was a con. I went digging. That night, I pulled out the boxes of legal files I'd collected over the years, permits, inspection reports, court filings, and I started making calls. Quiet ones. The kind you don't log on paper. And what I found made my skin crawl. Turns out, Miranda wasn't even the real HOA president. The actual one, an old woman named Mabel, was rotting away in a nursing home with dementia. Miranda had been forging her signature for months. She'd been using fake permits to declare ranches hazard zones, forcing owners to sell at bottom dollar to a development company tied to her ex-husband. You heard that right. Her ex-husband, Randall McAllister, CEO of Silver Path Developments. Big shot builder trying to transform unused farmland into luxury resorts. He wanted my ranch. She wanted revenge. And I was the last domino. But they didn't count on one thing, me documenting everything. See, I'd installed motion-triggered cameras around the property 2 years ago, after someone cut my fences. At the time, I thought it was just kids. But those cameras, they caught it all. The trespassing, the phony inspection, the fake vet techs injecting my animals with unknown substances. Even Miranda handing out envelopes to local officials. I uploaded it all, went live on Facebook, told my story, showed my herd, walked through every frame of evidence. I didn't yell, I didn't threaten, I just told the truth. And man, the internet lit up. Within 24 hours, federal agents were calling. Turned out Silverpath had already been under investigation for racketeering, but lacked hard proof, my footage. That was the nail in the coffin. They raided Miranda's house, seized her phone, arrested 2 of the hunters, one of whom turned out to be an off-duty cop from a neighboring county, moonlighting as muscle. And then came the twist I didn't see coming. Sheriff Holden, our local lawman, showed up at my door one evening, hat in hand, eyes red like he hadn't slept in weeks. He confessed. His wife's cancer bills were piling up. Miranda offered him $40,000 to look the other way. He took it, regretted it every day since. But to make it right, he gave me the motherlode. Photos, recordings, a detailed breakdown of Miranda's entire network: judges, clerks, inspectors. It was bigger than me. It was a statewide conspiracy. The FBI made their move. Miranda was arrested during a press conference. Her face that smug. Icy confidence crumbled on live television when Agent Ramirez stepped out from behind the camera and read her the federal charges: racketeering, conspiracy, wire fraud, civil rights violations. Yeah, she's not getting out anytime soon. They shut down Silverpath, the land grabs exposed, the judge disbarred. And my ranch? It was designated a federal heritage site, protected forever. Now, every summer, university students visit to learn about sustainable ranching. My cattle graze in peace, and my father's legacy still standing. But I'll leave you with this: justice isn't always quick. But if you document the truth, if you refuse to be silent, sometimes even the land remembers. So tell me, was Miranda just a grieving woman gone too far, or a cold manipulator hiding behind tragedy? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to hit like and share this with someone who still believes in fighting back.